to work, and I'ma gauge my progress by the sign of the word. Now I ain't yet a success, but yes, the word that I stress, cause by the time you hear the CD, count the steps that
Hey yo, it's a thin line between paper and hate, friends and snakes, 9 mils and 38s, hell all the pearly gates. I was destined to come, predicted, blame God, he blew breath in my lungs. What? Yo, if you don't know, that's Nas, right? That's Nas Hate Me Now, all right? So go ahead and Google it if you want to. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot more to that and everything, but just that piece right now. Matter of fact, the piece that got me the most out of that whole thing was predicted. Blame God, he blew breath in my lungs, right? I told you last week you was fearfully and wonderfully made, right? I mean, I don't know what it is that y'all need to know the value that you guys contain inside of you, right? Man, check this out. My name is Paulo Rivera, so now watch me make it happen. This is another edition of Make It Happen Mondays, right? And we're here once again to jumpstart that week, right? No, we are not that. Just another case of the Mondays, right? Nah, that ain't what it is. That ain't what it is at all, right? We like, all right, bet it's Monday. Bam, right? And we come right out the gun like that, right? So that's what I'm saying, right? Predicted, blame God, he blew breath in my lungs. I was fearfully, you were fearfully and wonderfully made. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, if he's with us, who can be against us, right? Now check this out. I know a lot of y'all out there like, yo, listen, I don't believe in God, or I'm a this or I'm a that, right? Hey, listen, we can talk about that too, right? But there's still motivation there, right? Is that you were created. You know what I mean? I don't care if it was the Big Bang. I don't care if it was evolution or whatever it is. But there was a process that took place that was way bigger than me, that was way bigger than you, that was way bigger than everything that we could possibly even put our finger on and be like, that was it, right? Is there's always a jump off point, right? Is that whether you believe in God or whether you believe in science or you believe in whatever, right? In the beginning, there's always going to be a leap of faith there because we can't point our finger and be like, here it is. And even if we like, it happened right here, we can't say what it did, right? And I'm sure there's some scientists out there that's going to be like, well, actually, you know what I'm saying? But listen, there's a point where you got to have faith. You know what I'm saying? You got to believe in something. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying here is that you got value. Even if it was some crazy cosmic explosion that happened, how is it that specifically you were created? And if you want to sit there and say that's a coincidence or that's just happenstance, well, check it out. That is like the most glorious, miraculous happenstance coinky dink that ever happened that I've ever been aware of. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, I ain't going to sit there and try to explore more to be like, well, this point or this fact ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I feel it, and that's my faith. You see what I'm saying? So I believe that I got value, right? And it's, to tell you the truth, in my opinion, I feel like it's easier because I believe in God, right? But once again, whatever it is that your belief system is, the universe, I don't know enough about a whole bunch of other things to be able to put a list out, right? So I apologize if I didn't mention what it is that you believe, right? But whatever it is, or even if you believe that it just comes to an end, right? If it just comes to an end at the end of the day, fine, then it comes to an end. But while I'm in it, I'm trying to kill the game, right? I'm trying to kill the game. So check this out. Haters is gonna hate, right? You're going to have people that's going to hate you. And that's the fact of life, right? But check this out. Here's my little spin to it. Is I don't believe that they hating on you. I honestly don't believe that they hating on you. I believe that they hating on themselves. And when they see you, that's a reflection of their disappointment in themselves, right? So yeah, I mean, I know people be, hi hater, I see you, hi hater. I understand that people be doing that, right? And other people be like, oh, I love my haters. I love my haters because, you know what I'm saying? It inspires me to keep on doing what I'm doing. Cool, that's all right. And that's great because whatever motivation is going to help you out, then cool, run with that. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that if you ever find yourself hating on yourself, that's a problem, right? So I just told you that when somebody's hating on you, they hating on themselves, right? So sometimes we got levels to this, right? Is that I hate on myself so much that I don't even recognize I'm hating on myself. I'm hating on somebody else, right? I don't recognize that the hate is directed towards me. So I'm reflecting it. I'm pushing it off on somebody else, right? Oh, he think he all that because, you know what I'm saying? He got auditorium full of people and he's doing the same thing I'm doing, man. What's up with him? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing me and I'm doing better than I was yesterday. And, you know, keep on saying that back. And I know I'm going to do better today. And I know I'm going to do better tomorrow than I did today. Right. So that's what it is. OK, so check it out. We need to stop hating ourselves. So what do I mean by that? Bet. I'm not where I want to be. Where is that? I'm not 175 pounds. I'm not making six figures. I'm not head of my class. I'm not on the honor roll. I'm not, whatever that is, right? Cool. Well, why aren't you there, right? Well, because at some point, you either never started to take action or at some point you stopped taking action, right? So now you're going to sit there and look at yourself as, oh, I failed. No. Those are just areas of opportunity, right? Because once you start talking those words of I failed, I lost, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, right? Those are reasons why you're going to end up hating on yourself because you believe that at the end of the day, you could have been a whole lot farther, right? I told you the story before. It's the one place you don't want to be, right? Is you don't want to be there on Judgment Day and all of a sudden they looking at you talking about, oh, well, Dad, and they showing you the life that you could have had. They show you all of your potential. They show you all of the decisions that you made wrong, but flipped it and you actually lived up to your potential and you made all those right decisions and they showing you the picture of that. They showing you the video of that and you're like, dang. You see what I'm saying? Don't leave none on the table. Don't leave anything on the table, right? So here you are, right? And this is where you want to be. And this is where you are. So you start all of these goals and you backwards plan and you take the big goals and you make medium-sized goals out of them. You take the medium-sized goals and you make the small-sized goals out of them, right? And then all of a sudden, you doing it, right? You killing the game. You however long into it, a week into it, a month into it, a year into it, whatever it is. But everything is smooth sailing. You plan that jump out so much that these gradual progressive overload tidbits that you keep adding and changing up in your routine, they just almost imperceptible. And yeah, you know what? You have received a whole lot more productivity or whatever, you a whole lot closer to whatever that goal is, right? But everything has been smooth sailing, right? Then all of a sudden, just like Mike Tyson says, everybody got a plan till they get punched in the face, right? So now all of a sudden you get punched in the face. Now all of a sudden, like I said yesterday, my calf starts hurting, right? Now all of a sudden you get somebody else hired from the outside of your organization, right? Who got skills, and now it looks like they about to pass you, or maybe they do pass you, right? You've been running every day, and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You got a cramp. Right? And now you can't do it. Maybe you've been babysitting or something like that. And the time frame just ain't right no more, right? That's when you need to look at yourself. Because the way you can really measure a person and what they made out of is not when everything is sunshiny and daffodils and all of that other stuff, right? That ain't what it is. Because that's easy, right? The whole thing is to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? You don't want to be the smartest person in the room, right? There's a whole bunch of analogies that go with that. But the whole point is you need to stretch yourself. Right? So what kind of person are you? When all of a sudden you get punched in the face, when all of a sudden things get more difficult, when you ain't picking up that quickly on the new information that you're supposed to, when all of a sudden you sitting there and you just getting aches and pains all over the place and you just don't want to work out. When maybe you had to wake up earlier today because your child woke up or something like that and now you just dead tired but you didn't get your steps in. Bet. Well, now comes that self-inventory time that I was talking about, right? What do you want? Sure, you might want to sleep right now because you tired as hell. And I ain't saying that you ain't tired. Bet, be tired. You know what I'm saying? You might want to eat something and the only thing you got in the house is Twinkies. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, yo, but I'm hungry. I need to eat something. That ain't healthy, Pablo, right? Yo, but you understand what it is that you're doing, right? You understand what it is that you're doing if you eat that Twinkie. So I'm not sitting here telling you that you ain't going to feel good if you eat that Twinkie. You probably will feel good, right? It's sugar. Sugar naturally, raise that energy level. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying if you didn't go to sleep, if you went to sleep, you wouldn't feel good. Yeah, you would go to sleep and you would feel good, right? But how are you going to feel after it's done? How you going to feel the next day after you wake up? How you going to feel when you get on that scale and you're like, dag, man, you know what? I didn't get any closer to my goal. That Twinkie felt good, but dag, man. Right? Because now you ain't just looking at somebody who weighed a Twinkie. You ain't just looking at somebody who maybe gained a pound or so. You ain't looking at somebody who's just a little overly tired. You looking at a failure. You looking at somebody who said they was going to do something and didn't do it for whatever reason. I'm telling you right now that the pain that you're going to have on the other end of failing on that task is much greater than the pleasure that you're going to have from breaking it and getting whatever gratification that you can get right now. Right? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the power of delayed gratification, right? So if I'm sitting here and I'm busy all day and I couldn't get in my tasks, well, what is it? Am I going to feel good about just saying, you know what, I'm not going to do it, and feel that relaxation, right? Feel that stress relief? Am I going to do that so that I can feel good right now? Or am I going to be like, you know what, and I'm going to buckle down. I'm going to say, my name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen. And I'm going to get done what it is that I need to get done. Why? Because I said I'm going to do it. I promised myself, right? This is all coming full circle. If you can't keep a promise to yourself, then who can you keep a promise to? Right? You might as well just shut your mouth and stop saying things. You see what I'm saying? If you think that sleep today is better than your goal tomorrow, then don't even bother having a goal. You see what I'm saying? So here's where we are, is understand that and start practicing the art of delayed gratification, right? I don't know if cold plunges do anything. I don't know if fasting does anything, right? I don't know if any of those things do anything that the scientists say that they do. I gotta believe it, right? But check this out. Like everything that I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no degree. I ain't got no psychology degree. I ain't got none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you off of my own life experiences because listen, it's been working, right? So that's what it is when I say perpetuate positivity. I'm trying to impart that on you, right? So check this out. I don't know if those cold plunges or fasting and all that works. I'm sure that, like I said, you can have scientists explain that to you, right? But what I am saying is it's a heck of a practice of delayed gratification, right? I don't want to sit inside of a cold tub with ice in it. It just don't make sense, right? But dang, what if I could? Right? Again, what you're doing is you're starting to build up successes. And what better place to fail than in an ice bath? And to tell you the truth, I don't think you can fail in an ice bath. If you get one pinky toe in, good job, you got a pinky toe in. Tomorrow, try to get the pinky in the... I don't know what they call whatever. I would imagine that's the ring finger, but on the toe, or on the foot, right? So, but my point is you can't, because you're trying something new, you stretching yourself out, right? Too many of y'all, you've been going too long without stretching yourself. You got to stretch yourself. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right? And whatever you do, give it 110%. You do not want to be hating on yourself, right? You want to practice that power of delayed gratification, right? Because that's who you are. Which brings us to our next question. And this one right here is going to be an open-ended question, right? Is who are you? Who are you? We just talked about the way you measure a person is how it is that they deal with life in the face of adversity, right? So here we are. That's what you need to think. When you're sitting here and all of a sudden you get that punch in the face, or you get that setback, or you get that bad feeling, or you get that stomach ache, you get that runny nose, you get that sore throat, or you get that cramp, or you get that whatever it is. What type of person are you and how are you going to deal with that? Who are you? I tell you all the time, my name is Pablo Rivera, but that's not who I am, right? Is that, again, I'm probably going to mess this up, right? Because I got loose history here, you know what I'm saying? But I know that when people used to come over, immigrants from other places, that America used to be like, nah, you know what? We're going to change your name. So like maybe Pablo Rivera would have changed into Paul Rivers or something like that, right? Let me tell you something. If I did everything I can do to get here to this country so that I can exercise that freedom that everybody's saying, right? So that I can attain that opportunity that everybody's talking about, right? Land of the free, home of the brave, right? If I did all of that as Pablo Rivera and I got to the front door and all of a sudden they looking at me talking about, nah, dog, you Paul Rivers. I'm going to let you know what. You could change my name to Paul Rivers, but I am still me. You see what I'm saying? I still have that drive. I still got that ambition. I got that grit. I got the dream. I got the ability. I know that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. You know what I'm saying? I got it all. Just because you take some piece of paper and say this dude is now Paul Rivers, now Pablo Rivera, I'll tell you what. I'm still going to make it happen. You see what I'm saying? So I am not my name. Right? Look. There's been people who came back from tours in Iraq and Afghanistan and even back in the day when the other wars were, right? Without a leg, without an arm, without both legs, right? We got people who are born right now without a leg or arm or finger or whatever. Does that mean that that's not them anymore? Because I am not my finger. I am not my leg. I'm not my arm. I am me, right? So what is that? And this is what I'm telling you is I don't necessarily think we're going to come to a complete answer today, right? But I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about what am I? You see what I'm saying? I mean, we could say we are energy, we are this. Well, obviously we are humans, you know what I'm saying? Cool, but what is that? You know what I'm saying? So I started to think about it, and we might go a little bit farther in this, but I want you to think about this. I am the impact that I make. But not only am I the impact has to be measured against my intent. So my intent and my impact, what is the difference in between that, right? What I wanted to do was perpetuate positivity. And I think it's working, right? Because I'm getting a couple more subscribers. A couple more people are starting to see the morning motivations on Facebook and Instagram and all that, right? I got people reaching out to me now. You see what I'm saying? So my intent was to simply perpetuate positivity. My impact is that that's actually happening. Well, fantastic, right? What are the ripples now, right? There's this book, I believe it's 4 or 5 people that you meet in heaven, right? And the whole point of that book is that the impact that you have on the masses, and it might not necessarily need to be 100. It might just be one extra person, right? But that person is outside of who it was that I intended my impact to have on, if you know what I'm saying, right? I intended to have an impact on this person, right? And everybody intends on having an impact. It don't matter if you just having a regular conversation, right? You having an impact. You're going to come off and be like, yo, where the cereal at, right? Or, excuse me, can you please tell me where the cereal is, right? That's an impact. And you making that decision based on how it is that you present and what it is that you're saying, right? So how I deal with this person, obviously, that person's going to leave with an impact. I'm going to leave with an impact, no matter how subtle or how great, right? But what we don't necessarily take into account is how that person over there is impacted by this relationship, by this interaction. You see what I'm saying? So it's a greater impact. So what is the impact that you're leaving on the world as a whole, right? What is the impact that you're leaving here? So after you're gone, people still going to know, talk, or be able to research what you left behind, right? What is that? And I'm not necessarily saying it got to be outside of your family. It could be your family structure. Who are you? What are you about? And in order to be able to find that, I think first we need to look within. We can't find who we are by looking outside of who we are, right? So look at that. Find out who are you, because those thoughts are what's going to help drive you past the difficult times. I know that I want to perpetuate positivity. So tell you what, now when I don't do a Monday morning motivation, I feel like I'm missing something, that I have lacked what it is that I was destined to do. And that's perpetuate positivity, right? That's the point where you want to get to. Who are you? So it helps drive me. It helps motivate me. It helps accomplish what some people might feel is unaccomplishable, right? But that's when I say, my name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen, right? It's a thin line between paper and hate, friends and snakes, 9 mils and 38s, hell or the pearly gates. I was destined to come. You were destined for success. You were destined to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. We all have it inside of us. And once again, I'm going to bring it full circle and tell you that it all starts in the mind, because through the mind is how it all starts. A thought. The thought creates intent. Intent inspires action, and action achieves goals. I hope that this motivated you. I hope that this inspired you, right? So check this out. Until next time, I want you to keep on trucking along, right? I want you to attack your goals with a vengeance. I want you to know that you were destined for greatness, right? Stop hating on yourself. You need to love yourself, okay? Let's exercise that power of delayed gratification. Continue to take them self-inventories, and then look at yourself in the mirror and say it. My name is Pablo Rivera. Watch me make it happen.
Weight on my shoulders when I'm in motion, I'm focused, thoroughly thought of my plans and the execution. You notice, ain't no time to think about it, only time to react. Your intuition under pressure, weighing down on your back. I scribble thoughts in my palm, I sing it when I get home. Organize my inner visions while I'm chilling